welcome back to my channel, okay? I'm Demetra Joe, and we're going to talk about reality TV, all right? Y'all know I love me some reality TV, and I'm currently reviewing Ready to Love, as well as The Love Experiment, but I'm also watching Love is Blind. All right, y'all, look, I was going to do, review videos about that, but I just got so behind in watching the show. Then when I finally caught up, I was like, this is so much. It's so much going on. The episodes are completely packed. But we're just going to talk about a few standout things to me, right? So y'all know what the concept of Love is Blind is, right? You get a group of men, they got a group of women, and they put them in pods so that they can't see each other, but they can hear each other. So they have to make a connection, then someone proposes. The experience lasts 10 days, okay? So within that 10 days, they got to have hours of conversation to figure out who they should propose to or accept their proposal. All right. So a lot of times there's, somebody that proposes to two people. There's some people that, have to double back and pick the person that they cut. It gets crazy. Okay. And then after they propose to the person and the engagement is accepted, they get to meet each other for the first time face to face the next day. Those interactions are funny too, because you can always tell when a person is like not happy with the physical appearance of the person that they talk to. So it's like, yeah, is love blind? Because you can feel a certain way talking to people on the phone, but when you're on the phone, you're building up things that may not exist in real life in your head, but you can see it on some of their faces. Okay. But after that, they get to live together for 4 weeks, and then they have to be married. All right. In that time, they get to meet each other's family and stuff. And this is just interesting. I remember my aunt posted on my Facebook page like a while ago that they were casting in DC for Love is Blind. And I was like, why are you putting this on my page? Because I would never do this in front of the world. Like, do you know how many conversations you have to have? Do you know how, no, I would do it if it wasn't being filmed, right? I would take part in that kind of experiment, but I would not. Kudos to you guys who are able to date on TV, because I don't think I could do it. But anyway, so in this show, the people that stand out as characters to me is, are Uche, Lydia, Milton. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of other people, but those are the top three that stick in my head. All right, because when Uche came in there, Uche was repeating himself and telling people the same things. And I'm like, dude, you know that people I just assume that people are going to talk in groups because they're all in here talking back in the women's quarters. So what are you doing? I don't think he got called out for it, but I was definitely like, why is he telling everybody the same thing? Whatever. But Uche falls for this girl named Aaliyah, right? And I thought they had a good connection. But here comes Lydia. Lydia is like this ball of energy. She's a geologist. She talks really fast. She's Puerto Rican. And come to find out, she dated Uche before this whole show. And he acted like he didn't recognize her voice. She, never said anything to the girls about it. And then she starts to befriend Aaliyah, who Uche is having a connection with. That was fake to me. Like, what are you doing? If you dated him before, okay, fine, keep it moving, but don't befriend the person that he's interested in. And then she did this whole thing where she was like, telling her that she reminded her of her and that they're the same person. And I don't really know how true that is. But I was like, what are we doing here, girl? What are we doing? What are we doing? I did see a lot of begging. It was a lot of women begging. Well, I won't even say a lot. There was a couple women who I felt like were begging the men to propose to them. And no, what are you doing? No. Mm-mm. So then there's this girl named Johnny in there. Johnny's top connection was Izzy and also a guy named Chris. Well, she got to the point where she thought that Izzy was going to pick her. She told Chris that her other connection was stronger. She gets to Izzy. Izzy cuts her. Izzy doesn't pick her. Izzy picks Stacy. And so, but Stacy didn't tell nobody who her connection was, so she didn't really know right away. Johnny didn't really know right away, but so Johnny had to go back and re-engage Chris, because Chris, she told him that she was picking somebody else. So like, that's the kind of crazy thing that can happen on this show. Like, what is happening? Izzy and Lydia were also talking like they were connected before as well, but I felt like there was a couple of scenes that they put in there where I could just kind of tell that Izzy and Lydia were not on the same page. Okay, but Lydia is fake to me. She's not genuine. She does seem like she could be a shit starter. She's trying to control Milton because she won't even let him talk to people. She wants to go get him when he's talking to somebody. Oh my God. So I don't know how long this is going to last, because even though Milton is going along with her antics, he don't seem like he would be going along with her antics for life. I feel like he can only take so much, and will we see it? I don't know. But you know, this show is interesting because I can always see when there's an awkward meeting. When they first reveal themselves and they have to see each other for the first time, it's awkward sometimes, and you can always tell when somebody's not feeling the other. And so in this one, Izzy and Stacy, they were fine. They were feeling each other. Milton and Lydia, they were feeling each other. Milton is like 6'7", 6'8", right? But JP and Taylor, when they met, it just seemed like Taylor was so disappointed. Okay, she even made a remark about his teeth. But after I saw them in later footage where they were like, you know, trying to spend the 4 weeks together until their wedding, it seemed like she might be attracted to him. She could be attracted to him. So, I mean, at this point, the people who proposed to somebody and accepted an engagement in the pod, they're living with their person for this 4 weeks leading up to the wedding. They're meeting family. They're going tuxedo shopping. They're buying dresses, and they're dealing with some real life stuff in the meantime as well. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. So far, it's interesting. I can't wait to see what the conclusion is. Okay, the other big thing that happened was Uche and Aaliyah were, you know, getting connected, getting to know each other. Aaliyah, you know, was talking to him about how she had cheated on somebody 2 years ago, and he got all into that. Like, why didn't she tell him she's a cheater, blah, blah, blah. So she thought he was judging her, and he was just processing the information. Then come to find out, Lydia already knows Uche. Lydia already knew Uche before they got in there, and Uche thinks that she was over at his place before he came on the show, and she set it up to be on there with him. It does seem like she feels some type of way about Uche with all the things that she's doing and saying. It is just really weird. But the weirdest thing of them all was when she tried to befriend Lydia. Like, I don't want to be friends with somebody who has dated a person that I'm trying to get to know. Like, I don't need your interference. Like, we could be cordial, but no, they were crying together. It was really, really on the weird side. I don't know. Aaliyah ends up leaving the whole process, and Uche had a phone call with her, and they filmed that, and he was pissed, and he gave the phone back and said, I don't want to talk to her. So, I don't know, but that's a tough situation. Like, that's what I'm saying. Lydia should not have been trying to befriend Aaliyah, and Aaliyah should have not been trying to befriend her either, because Lydia had this point where she was even saying things about Uche, like the last time they had sex and how his house looks and stuff like that. That right there told me what kind of time she was on, and Aaliyah should not have befriended her, and vice versa. So anyway, so they get to meet back up and they have a conversation. So we'll see what else happens in the conclusion. But I'm here for it. Maybe next season I will do it episode by episode, but I just have to catch it at the right time. By the time I caught it, it was already 9 episodes up there, and I was already into it. So here we are, right? But anyway, going on to Ready to Love. Ready to Love, we did not have any connections, okay? We all agree as a whole that this season was not great. It wasn't great. And the onus is on production in my mind. The network, not even production that's filming the show, but the network. This is your fault, guys. You know, you didn't show us what really happened, and the story you tried to sell us, it just didn't go over well. Quentin announced that he and Janelle are not together, but we kind of already knew that because Come on, y'all. We already knew that. Janelle posted something on Instagram. It's a very long post. She was nice, nasty in it, and then she was savage at the end, okay? She's calling out people that are part of production as well. So she's not happy with it either. All right, so I don't know. So, you know, we got this new show coming up, Ready to Love, Make a Move. I keep saying Ready to Love, Ready to Move, just because, I don't know. I keep messing it up, but it's Ready to Love, Make a Move. Now, I think the show is going to be a good show. For one, I think it's going to be a good show because the women will be able to date the people they want to date from the pool of men that they're picking from. That's the most important thing, right? And then the second thing is we already know these girls and they have personality. They are good for TV, right? If you haven't watched all the episodes of Ready to Love, then you're probably not familiar with all the girls, but you're probably familiar with at least the last two, Charisse and Zadia at the very least. But all of the women have personalities that are good for TV. So I'm hoping to see something good come from the show, okay? Like, yeah, I suspect there'll be a little bit of drama in the way of the fact that it's 4 women getting together, living in one house. They're bound to butt heads about something, all right? And then add to that the fact that they're picking from the same pool of men that they're going to be dating. So they could possibly be dating the same guy. So that, you know, I see a little bit of, you know, shit talking, if you will, all right? But overall, I think this is going to be a good show. I think it's going to be OWN trying to show that they do know how to edit and they do know how to have a good show, okay? Let's do good, all right? And so, like, okay, we have had a break between seasons of Ready to Love before. I want to say it was the season of DMV versus Potomac. I feel like there was a break in there. I can't remember. I could be wrong, but there was a season that we had a break in between. So it doesn't necessarily mean that OWN is canceling the show. I've been hearing that going around, but it could be true, right? We don't know. But I think this new show is going to be a breath of fresh air and give us a breather from Ready to Love because we're upset with them right now. We're not feeling them right now. Like, we've had enough for now, okay? We'll come back and check on you later after this show. Now, if this show, y'all do good, we're going to be ripe and ready for Ready to Love Dallas Season 2, okay? So, I'm going to be here for it. Me and my sister will be, you know, reviewing that show as well. So it comes on at the same time as Ready to Love. So Friday is the night after the show airs. We'll come back here and recap and give our thoughts and commentary because we love reality TV, okay? So that's it. I just wanted to come through and say that. I'll see y'all in my next video, which is going to be the Love Experiment because that's about to come on. And I'm going to have that review up as soon as I'm able to watch the show. All right, I'm your girl, Damita Jo. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.